Welcome to Comics on a Pyre, a channel to have a meaningful conversation over movies, life, books, and shows, and maybe just a spot to spend time BSing over comics. If you like your entertainment with a bit of substance, then you, my vagabond friend, have come to the right tavern. Tether your horse by the post and come right on in and warm yourself by the fire. Tap that subscribe button, and for the next few minutes, my fellow George Carlin reprobate, lend me your ear. In comic book history, there is a litany of different characters. Some that stick on walls, others that fly, and still some that can teleport at the blink of an eye. There is almost no end to the different assortment of abilities. Likewise, characters themselves share in this diversity. We have doctors, singers, lawyers, and just average old people who go on to be powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. The population of super beings gets so prolific, in fact, that one may start to run out of ideas after a while, and therefore look to alternative sources of inspiration to create characters, both villains and heroes. With that being said, I noticed an assortment of prehistoric characters that littered the pages of the comics that I was reading. All of them existed before man was, as we know it, even first walked the earth. And so I thought it would be fun to put together a list of prehistoric land before time characters. Some of them I'm sure you will know, but others will have flown beneath your radar. Of course, that all depends on the diversity of Marvel titles that you have been reading. So without further ado, let's get started on this list. Number 1 will be the biggest of the group, with some measuring an astonishing 40 feet long. And that would be, of course, the mighty T-Rex, or the other moniker that is also known by the Tyrannosaurus Rex. This giant lizard, some of you may know better known as the Devil Dinosaur. Now, I myself have only recently become aware of this character, seeing him on the pages of Moon Girl and Devil's Dinosaur issue number 1, published in January of 2016. Now, when I first saw this, to be honest, I thought, in my ignorance, that this was a gimmick comic, a flash in the pan, gone by night comic. But I am a man enough to admit that this series has somewhat staying power, lasting 47 issues in fact. I believe in comic years, that's a decent run, especially nowadays. Now, if you don't know about this comic, it is a team up between a young girl named Lunella Lafayette, aka Moon Girl, and a giant red T-Rex named, you guessed it, Devil Dinosaur. Very original Marvel. Apparently the two can switch bodies. I don't know the gist of it. In all honesty, I've never read the comic. Just looked it up for facts concerning this list. But what I was surprised to find out is that Devil Dinosaur has been around for a long time. First appearing way back in April of 1978 in his own issue, no less. Apparently this time though, his master was a little guy by the name of Moon Boy. And now, for number 2 on this list, Zabu, the last known Samoan, aka saber-toothed tiger. This prehistoric feline lives in what is known as the Savage Land, a forgotten world located somewhere in Antarctica. This tropical land before time is the total antithesis to the land in which you gain access by it. As Antarctica is a vast snowy tundra, the Savage Land is dotted with fiery, living, active volcanoes, which spew hot magma into the air. It is a tropical preserve hidden from the rest of the world, reminding me of the hollow earth theory in Kong vs. Godzilla the movie. It is a land untouched by modern man, and so forth has gone on to preserve life forms that existed even before the Cro-Magnon chiseled on their first rock. Anywho, onto this feral land Zabu was born. After surviving on his own for a while, the cat met a man named Kevin Plunder, who himself would go on to be Kazar, a Tarzan-like character that lived in the Savage Land. Since their chance meeting, the two have rarely been seen without the other. To point this out even further, they both first appeared in the Marvel Universe at the same time in the X-Men volume issue number 10, published in March of 1965. Now, being a saber-toothed tiger, Zabu, of course, is gifted with a heightened sense of smell, remarkable hearing, cat-like night vision, and razor-sharp front and back claws. Cap this all off with humongous oversized incisors. How effective these teeth are is anyone's guess. But what I can tell you is that they are sure intimidating. All enemies, beware. Now, third down on the list is Old Lace. She is a genetically engineered prehistoric dinosaur for crying out loud. Totally badass, and a great character to add to the Marvel Universe. I thought Lace was a velociraptor, but the comics mention her to be of the Deinonychus race. What do I know? I'm no paleontologist. Anywho, Old Lace first appeared in Runaways Comics issue number 2, published in August of 2003. She was created by the prolific writer Brian K. Vaughan, who I love for his Saga comics. If you have not read this series, then by all means go and check them out. They are a complete blast. The other co-creator responsible for Old Lace is Adrian Alphona, a Canadian comic book artist best known for his work on the Marvel Comics run Runaways. Obviously, being a velociraptor, Lace is equipped with a set of deadly dagger-like claws, needle-pointed fangs, and a powerful whipping tail and tough pachyderm skin. One distinguishing feature to this reptile is her nose ring, a totally modern look on a prehistoric character. The other interesting attribute of Old Lace is her telepathic link with her owner, Gertrude Yorks. Gert is the daughter of the time-traveling villains of Dale and Stacy Yorks. In the series storyline, she became the founding member of the Runaways. The two, Girl and Dinosaur, are telepathically and empathically linked. This empathic bond with Old Lace enables Gertrude to mentally command and communicate with Old Lace without anyone else being aware. The Velociraptor is fiercely loyal to Gert and has been programmed not to harm her or any member of York's immediate family. However, on the flip side, Gert and Old Lace also share the pain and injuries that the other sustains, making an interesting setup for storytelling. Next, fourth on this list is Sauron, the alter ego of the physician Dr. Carl Lycus. After being bitten by a mutant pterodactyl, Lycus was transformed into the energy vampire, able to absorb the life force of others from which he touches. If Lycus absorbs the life force of a mutant, he transforms into a humanoid pterodon, gaining increased strength and speed in the process. However, this also causes Sauron to gain control over Lycus. Throughout his history, Sauron has often been depicted as inhabiting the hidden prehistoric jungle of the Savage Land, and has been an enemy of the X-Men as well. The character was created by writer Roy Thomas and artist Neil Adams, and made his first appearance in X-Men issue number 60, published in September of 1969. I myself remember this character as a member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, fighting the X-Force team as well. And now, fifth on our list, and I believe the most esoteric of the bunch, Dr. Vincent Stegron, also known as simply Stegron. While working as an assistant to Dr. Curtis Connors, he assisted in a project for S.H.I.E.L.D. that used dinosaur tissue, which was supplied by Khazar of the Savage Land. During the project, Vincent became obsessed with the lizard experiments and decided to steal the dinosaur extract. He fled to the Savage Land and ingested the Connors formula with the Stegosaurus DNA, turning himself into a half-human, half-Stegosaurus dinosaur. In this new form, Stegron possesses superhuman strength, speed, agility, and stamina, and of course a durable, tough, bullet-like skin. At his disposal, though, is a deadly arsenal of natural-born weapons, such as his prehensile tail, razor-sharp claws, and dagger-like teeth. If all that was not enough to be considered a threat, Staghorn also has the mental ability to control and manipulate any dinosaur in an unknown area around him, similar to Aquaman's ability with sea creatures. Stegron first appeared in Marvel Team Up issue number 19, published in March of 1974. Well, there you go. 5 prehistoric characters that existed way before cavemen started drawing on walls. If you like this video, then by all means gander on over to my comic book inspired YouTube channel, Comics on the Pyre, for other videos like this one. While there, make sure to tap on the like button, press the subscribe icon, and ring that bell before you leave so that you may be notified when the next video drops. But until then, as always, in the interim, keep reading, my friends.